Hello, beautiful people in Interland. I'm just sitting here doing my birthday magic, and I thought it might be a good idea to share with you guys how I do mine. And everyone's method is different, so if this jives with you, fantastic. Take whatever you like from it, use it, keep it. If it doesn't, ignore it, throw it out. This is just me trying to pass on what works for me in case it works for you too. Okay, so there is a software that can tell you when the sun is going to be exactly the same as it was the moment that you were born. And a friend of mine who's a numerologist and astrologist, her name is Amy Woods. If you want to find her, her web address is amy-woods.com. She has it, and so every year I call her up and I say, hey, would you mind telling me when my solar moment is? And so she looks it up and lets me know. And this year, it's actually a day before my calendar birthday. So today's the day before my calendar birthday, but I'm spending time doing this because it's called your 10 hours of power. And what you do is you find the moment when the sun is exactly lined up with where it was lined up when you were born, and you need to know your birth date, of course, your birth time, your location, and then where you're going to be this year at this time, so it can tell you what time zone and stuff like that it's in. So essentially, the way that it works is it tells you when that moment is, and you take the 5 hours ahead of it and the 5 hours behind it and make that your 10 hours of power, and it kind of culminates up to that moment. For me, mine just happens to be at 2:10 p.m. today, and then it goes down, and so mine ends at 7:10 p.m. And so I'm doing all this stuff that I'm about to tell you now, and then tonight at 7:15, my friend and I, who she should say birthday is me, we're going to have dinner together, and that's going to be like the entrance into the new year. This is going to be my 33rd year, which I just feel is important. You know, it's double number, it's the year that Christ ascended, it's just the big ascended-y kind of year. So I'm looking forward to seeing what will happen. So what I do when I do my birthday magic is I get all my favorite things around me. So for instance, we've got the Master Key book, and I just got on to chapter 16 earlier this week. And I know there are some amazing quotes in here that I would love to read to you guys. Let's see. Well, I don't know. Here's a good one on visualization. Visualization must, of course, be directed by the will. We are to visualize exactly what we want. We must be careful not to let the imagination run riot. Imagination is a good servant, but a poor master. And unless it is controlled, it may easily lead us into all kinds of speculations and conclusions which have no basis or foundation of fact whatever. Every kind of plausible opinion is liable to be accepted without any analytical examination, and the inevitable result is mental chaos. So we must therefore construct only such mental images as we know to be true. Things like this. Also, this we call evil, which is, they're saying this is, here we go. How then are we to control thought? What is the process? I don't know if you guys can hear that plane, but planes never fly above. Of course, when I want to record a video, either the saws will go off next door from someone doing home construction, or a plane will fly over. Just noticing, saying hello to whoever that is. Okay, to control thought is to control circumstances, conditions, environment, and destiny. How then are we to control thought? What is the process? To think is to create a thought, but the result of the thought will depend upon its form, its quality, and its vitality. The form will depend upon the mental images from which it emanates. This will depend upon the depth of the impression, the predominance of the idea, the clarity of the vision, and the boldness of the image. The quality depends upon its substance, and this depends upon the material of which the mind is composed. If this material has been woven from thoughts of vigor, strength, courage, and determination, the thought will possess these qualities. So that comes back to, what do you want to emanate? No matter what's going on in your world, what do you want to be? And my ideals are harmony, clarity, truth, beauty as a prayer and a virtue. Okay, let's see, where were we? And finally, the vitality depends upon the feeling with which the thought is impregnated. If the thought is constructive, it will possess vitality It will have life. It will grow, develop, expand. It will be creative. It will attract to itself everything necessary for its complete development. If the thought is destructive, it will have within itself the germ of its own dissolution. It will die, but in the process of dying, it will bring sickness, disease, and every other form of discord. And at some point in here, they say you can prove this because you can look back at what you've tried to manifest in your life, and anytime your intentions were selfish or kind of messed up, it doesn't really happen. But every time your intentions are to love, whatever that means for you, if it means to serve, if it means to create, or whatever it means, then things work out. So anyway, the mastery system, it was in the monthly magic book club, and I'm still working on it because you get on, you fall off, and then you have to catch up. But it's every week you read the same chapter for all days of the week, and then at the end of the week you can progress to the next one. I find that with the Master Key, whenever I'm reading it, my life is just better, just works better, my manifestation is stronger. I also have the Radiant Sutras, which I found a great quote to read to you guys. I just love these. Like I've said before, this is the only holy book, and granted, it's some Vedic texts. I think it's Vedic texts that were translated by just this scholar who translated them. So some people would say it's not an exact representation and da-da-da-da-da, which is true with any translation, But I love these. I mean, I think this is the only holy text I've ever been able to get 100% behind without saying, oh yeah, well, that was social control at the time. You got to just get over it. Oh yeah, well, that's because of whatever was happening. Oh yeah, well, that's because someone changed it and translated it to tell you whatever they wanted you to do. This is all about just, essentially ascension through making love to the universe with all of your senses and all of your mind, and I'm just all about that. All right, what else? We've got my tarot cards, Tarot Illuminati, which I love these. I've used them. I got them in Salem a few years ago on my 31st birthday. Or it could have been 30, nope, definitely 31st birthday. I did a bunch of energy work in Salem, Massachusetts, and I got them then. Okay, I have my newest oracle deck, which is The Magic of Flowers by Tess Whitehurst. See, there's the box. Isn't she lovely? And these beauties have a lovely 12-pointed star in them. And then I've got some Lenormand cards. What Lenormand cards versus tarot cards do is, say you're looking at a chess game, the tarot card that you pull is going to be the things going on in the people's minds that are the chess players, their intentions, their strategies. Then the Lenormand cards are going to be what's actually happening on the board. The Lenormand cards represent the physical reality. So combining Lenormand and tarot I find to be really useful. And these are called the Gilded Reverie cards, and I just love them. They're kind of like shadowy and deep, but that's how the physical world is in my experience. So it kind of, makes sense. Like here's the first one I pulled up, and yeah, they're just lovely. You see that artwork, just beautiful. Okay, so, and finally, 2 more things to share with you guys that I've got on my little birthday magic area back here in my backyard as I'm chilling. Okay, these are the Gods and Goddesses decks. These are I think my oldest deck that I have hanging out with me. I love these. They're by Stacey DeMarco and Jimmy Manton, and they're just super epic. Like, check out these. Ooh, she's lovely. These beautiful, ooh, this one's one of my favorites, I just love these illustrations. The guy who illustrated these, his name is Jimmy Manton, and he's epic. Like, they just come alive if you look at them for long enough. Okay. And I'm not sure if I already shared with you guys the Enchanted Map. These are the cards that I usually pull in my Goddess Mentorship Program. These are great because they're super non-judgmental and kind of non-dualistic, and they just give you the advice that you need. And finally, last but not least, I have my journal here. This is the one I'm currently using. I love to get journals online. Beautiful journals just let me write more. I don't know, they just inspire me more. So the ones I tend to get are from this company called Peter Popper Press, And I usually order them online, like on Amazon or something. And they don't tend to be that expensive, under $20. They last me several months, and then I get another one. I've got now a drawer full of journals that I've filled up over the years. It's super fun to go back and read, especially when I'm getting an intuition about what's going to happen in my future. And then I can go back and go, holy bananas, that totally happened. Or I was wrong and it didn't happen, or whatever, right? What I find is my intuition is always true, but it never looks quite like I think it's going to look. So usually I don't notice that it's happening until I'm in it, and I look around and I go, oh my gosh. So the way I use all this stuff is at my moment of power. So what I'm going to do is finish recording this video, and then I'm going to go take a little nap to clear out and then wake up and do this. I'm going to clear my mind, set up my little magical space, which to me just means deciding, putting my phone on airplane mode, deciding that nothing is going to disturb me because this is my time of magical workings, and I'm going to set some balls in motion to make my next year be the best that it can be, whatever that means for whatever's coming to me, right? And so then I already have a couple of intentions that I've set over just the course of the afternoon so far. They've occurred to me. Let me see. Your 33 intentions. There are 2 of them here. And I like to make them big. Like, I like to make my affirmations overarching enough so they can fit in many situations. I think I'm going to do a workshop. Well, I'm definitely doing a workshop on manifestation in Huntington Beach on June 4th. And then I think I'm going to do an online affirmation writing workshop soon. So let me know if you guys are interested in that, because sometimes I have ideas, I don't do them, sometimes I do. Anyway, writing affirmations I feel like is kind of one of my superpowers. So the ones that I have so far for this year are 2 of them. The first one is, I ask that I be made a masterpiece of creation. The second one is kind of related to the first one. I will to be a shining example of what my world can be. So that, you see, that can cover anything. It doesn't say I always have to be happy. It doesn't say things always have to be my way. It doesn't give any amount of money I want to make or time I want to take to do something or something. It's just kind of across the board. If I can always feel like I'm a masterpiece of creation, if I'm like a work of art of God, then I'm thinking I'm pretty much going to be able to handle those things. And so what I'll do is pull a card spread using all these different cards. You know, I'll use the tarot cards to see how my life is going to feel and what's going to go on, what are going to be my challenges, what are going to be my strengths. I'm going to pull a Lenormand card to see what it's going to look like in my reality. I'll pull some gods and goddesses cards to see what I'll be receiving, giving, what I'll be embodied as a goddess, and what the divine masculine energies in my life will be embodied as. I'll pull a language of flowers, a magic of flowers card to fly around my face. Hello, little fairy thing. I'll pull a magical flowers card to see. Flowers are a really deep connection for me, because I've often felt like a flower, because, you know, I'm not someone who's going to go build a house. So a lot of my life I was wondering what's my purpose, because I'm not one who can do the grounded stuff, and I thought for a long time that I was not useful and I wasn't valuable because I'm like decoration. But when you look at what flowers do in the world, not only do they bless it and help it, but they make the food, you know, that helps me. So it's a very important deck for me to use. And also I'll pull an enchanted map card for advice along the journey. And of course the Radiant Sutras. Ooh, I'll just read you guys one of these in closing. So after I pull all these cards, what I'll do is look and get an overview of what my year is going to be like, using all of the, because I like using tarot cards. I like using divination methods like this. If it's not your thing, do something else. You can go talk to the trees and see what they say. You can just do a meditation and see what comes through. But if you're wanting to use magic on your birthday, I would recommend doing stuff like this, because you get a view of what's going to happen. And then the next part, which is super important, just as important as the divination, is looking at all of it and saying, okay, if this is my road, it might not be lovely. I might get some crazy cards. I mean, I might get the Tower card and the Death card, and who knows, right? But I'm going to figure out how to walk that with as much grace as I can, and how I'm going to do that with my ideals, which are, again, truth, connectedness, harmony, beauty, authenticity, and grace, you know. So then I will have those affirmations up on my wall. I will read them every now and then, and at first every day, and then as the moon cycles go and I get more exact what's going on at the time, I'll probably do it less often, but I'll probably put them in a beautiful picture frame and have them hanging somewhere in my room so I can look at them regularly. Anyway, so that's how I do my birthday magic. And it's very solo, private, and I like it that way, because I find that a lot of my power comes in being private and then being public for a little while and then going back and being private again most of the time. And I'm learning it, I'm growing, changing, as we all are, right? So to close out, I just want to read you guys a Radiant Sutra. And thank you for being here and listening to me ramble on my birthday. And like I said, take anything that worked for you. I am not decreeing anything here. I'm just sharing what works for me, because I know that a lot of you guys out there are kindred spirits. You're my soul sisters and soul brothers. And so the things that I've stumbled upon that works, I like to save you time and tell you that you might want to try it out if you haven't heard of it yet. Okay, so here's the Radiant Sutra for you guys in closing. Cast aside the 10,000 things and love only one. Don't go on to another. Engage your lively awareness with this one focus, one object, one thought, one symbol. Now go inside. Find the center, the soul, the heart. Right here in the middle of the feeling, attend the blossoming attention, vast as the sky. Delight in this entire universe as permeated with divine awareness. In every area of your body, your feet, your face, your shoulders, made out of divine awareness. the body of the planet beneath you, out beyond the farthest horizons, the stars, and the reaches of space. All are arising from God consciousness. Know this and dissolve into peace. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you have a beautiful year. And thanks for watching. And I'll see you again very soon.